Hi, I'm Scott Swenson. We're at Lynn's Propane Trucks. We've got another stock truck here for you today. This is a 2020 Peterbilt with a 34.99 gallon tank. As you can see, this thing is loaded front to back. In the back, we've got the stainless deck, fenders, stainless meter box. In the front here, we've got the chrome bumper, chrome grille, stainless heated mirrors, stainless steel exterior sun visor. We've got the aluminum air horns with the snow shields on them, aluminum wheels. In the headlight enclosures, you see we've got the strobe lights here. Those are on a factory rocker in the cab. There's also one on the rear head of the tank that we'll take a look at in a few minutes. Right now, let's get in the cab and we'll take a look at a few more of the options in there. On the left-hand side of the steering column here, we have the rockers for the lights for the cab. We've also got two factory rocker switches for our work lights here. Coming across, we've got a couple of 12-volt receptacles up top here. Charge your phones, any in-cab electronics you're using, charge that, GPSs, whatever you need them for. Right below that, we've got a concert class radio, AM, FM, weather band, MP3, USB jacks. It also has Bluetooth with all the hands-free laws coming up across the country. That's a really nice option. Looking down here, we've got the Allison selector switch on the dash. Just to the right of that, we've got the rocker switch for our locking rear differential. Down below that, we've got the rocker switch for our strobe lights, which were in the front headlight enclosures, and also one on the rear of the tank. And then right beside that, we've got our exhaust brake, and then our regen for the exhaust system. Moving up, we've got a monitor here, color monitor for the backup camera. So we've got the camera mounted on the rear head of the tank. You put it in reverse, it'll come up here on the monitor. It eliminates the blind spot directly behind the truck. It's really nice. So we've got it mounted over here, so you can easily switch from the spot mirror to the monitor. You know, you're not just backing up using the monitor, but it is really nice. You've got the two spots on the side, and then this eliminates the blind spot directly behind the truck. Moving down here, we've got our custom printer stand. This is solid. They are made custom for each individual cab. So also here you'll see a tab. This is pre-drilled holes for a ram mount. The ram mount is by far the most common thing we see to use to mount your in-cab electronics in the cab. So this is all ready when and if you do move on to in-cab electronics. Just bolt right up, nice and simple. Down below here, we've got a ticket holder. This helps keep your driver organized. We see these things all over the dash, just tickets strewn everywhere. This just gives them a spot to keep themselves organized. Another really nice option there. We've got a handheld remote that has three functions: PTO, throttle, and emergency stop. You only need to have the emergency stop. The PTO and the throttle are really nice for the driver. They haul the hose out to the tank, kick the PTO on, kick the throttle up right from the customer's tank. As it fills, kick the throttle down, shut the PTO off. It's a nice option for them. It also keeps your pump running a lot less because it's only running when you're making a delivery. Extends your pump life. But it's nice also is that the drivers use it. So if the battery goes dead, they're changing the batteries out. A lot of times when it's just the emergency stop, we'll see it live on the dash. Battery dies, nobody knows because they don't use it. They don't carry it. The drivers are supposed to carry this with them to every delivery. So if it's got something on it they can use, they will. So that's really nice. Lastly, here in the cab, we've got the corner windows. This again eliminates a blind spot for you. You're driving down the road, you can look right in the spot mirror over your shoulder to the corner window, and it eliminates that blind spot right behind the cab. Really, really nice option. Let's step to the side of the truck and we'll look at a few more options over there. We've got two of the work lights here on the upper corners of the cab. This was the rocker switch just to the left of the steering column. So we've got these two here, and then they work in conjunction with the two on the rear head of the tank. So those late night deliveries, these illuminate the side of the truck. The ones on the back illuminate the back space, so when your driver gets out to make a delivery, he can see where he's walking, see where he's working. It makes for a much safer environment, especially when there's ice and snow out there. As we were saying, this is loaded. We've got the aluminum wheels, aluminum battery box cover, aluminum air tank here, stainless grab handle, stainless heated mirrors. Moving back, Got the chalk block holder. We've got rubber on the front and the back so they're not rattling going down the road. It's spring loaded, so it's nice and easy to use. A lot of people have been getting unsecured load for their chalk blocks. This is nice and easy with a spring loaded lever. It's easy to secure the load, easy to use, so hopefully your drivers will. Moving back, again, stainless fenders, stainless fender brackets. We've got stainless spacers here behind the fenders. We'll set those mud flaps back so you can't pin them between the tire and a snowbank and tear them off. Because we set them back, we need a stainless spacer there to keep the debris off the back deck that would normally get through there. Let's move to the back of the truck and take a closer look at some of the options there. Starting up top, we've got the two work lights on either side. These work in conjunction with the two on the upper rear corners of the cab. As you can see, they completely illuminate the workspace, keep things safer, especially on those cold, snowy, icy evenings when you need to see where you're walking and working. Just in the center there is the strobe light. So we've got this one on the rear head of the tank. We've got two in the headlight enclosure. So no matter which way the traffic is coming towards you, they're alerted that you're there. It kind of grabs their attention. They're a really, really nice safety option. In the center above that is the camera, the backup camera. So we had the monitor over on the passenger side, mounted right near the spot mirror, so you can easily shift your sight from the spot mirror to the monitor. And that totally eliminates the blind spot directly behind the truck here. You've got both your mirrors down the side of the truck and your backup camera showing you what's directly behind you. We've got the recessed float gauge there. A lot of times you're going to see the rain guard over it. And coming down from that rain guard, inevitably, are the two rust streaks right down the tank. So this is recessed. We don't have the rain guard. You don't have the rust streaks. But also, if there's ever an accident or anything, it's not protruding from the tank, so it can't get sheared off. It's tucked right inside the tank. Moving down, we've got a stainless steel oversized meter box. Any maintenance or anything you need to do on your meter, you don't have to take the box off. Plenty of room to change the strainer, work on the meter, anything you need there. Because it's oversized, we also have a little shelf in here. Keep your gloves, fittings, anything else you use day to day. Over on the side here, we've got a holder for a leak check, spray bottle. In the summer, a lot of times we see it used for bee killer, so it keeps it handy for the driver right here. Also inside here, we store our hose and nozzle. Easy in, easy out. A lot of times, you've got the Acme right on the deck. You've got to thread it on when you get done with the delivery, thread it off to make a delivery. Time consuming. This is nice, easy in, easy out, but it's in the meter box. Keeps it clean and dry and ice free as well. We've got an LC meter, LCR2 electronic register, 2-stage preset. That means if you want to drop 286.9 gallons, it'll drop it right on the money every single time. Moving across here to the hose reel. We've got a guide master on this reel. This is a really nice option. It lets your driver guide the hose into the reel. It's easy on the back. They don't have to guide it in with their hands. They're not getting, whatever you pull the hose through all over your gloves. It's just nice and easy. It's a nice height and everything. The reel itself, it's a Hine reel, polished aluminum, spec for 250 feet of 1-inch hose, and it comes standard with 150 feet of 1-inch hose. As you can see, we've got plenty of extra room here. Normally you'll see these, they spec them really close to what they're putting on for hose, so you don't have all this extra room. But to get 150 feet of hose on a 150 foot hose reel, you've got to reel it perfectly every single time. So your guys are out making 30, 40, 45 deliveries in the winter. They're not reeling this up perfectly. They're out hustling gas. They're getting back to the truck. They're throwing it on the reel as quickly as possible. So with this, you see how much extra room you've got. The hose isn't lopping over and getting pinched between the drum and the reel frame here. It's not rubbing on the bottom of the deck because we've got that extra room, and we put it up. We raise it up above the deck a little bit, so you don't have any issue with that. Because it's raised up off the deck, you can also get it clean because that tends to collect leaves and debris. It's nice and easy with a power washer. You just blow it right off because the frame isn't sitting directly on the deck. Speaking of the deck, we've got a stainless steel lower deck here. Typically when you see a truck, you've got a prefab deck, and then you get the chassis in from the factory, and the chassis rails come out behind the rear axle. You'll take the prefab deck, you bolt it right up on top of them. That puts everything up above your working height. These decks are custom fabricated onto every truck, so it's a lower working area. This is your driver's office. He spends his entire day, you know, between here, the cab, and the customer's tank. This is where he works all day long. You want it to be comfortable for him. So we've got the lower deck with the lower working height. Everything's within your center of gravity here, whether it's the reel, the load line, the meter, whereas normally everything's going to be up above your shoulders because the deck is mounted on top of the chassis rails. The other piece you're going to notice is that the fills, they're lowered and they're angled. It's the right height at the right angle. So many times I see these guys struggling with that 2-inch load line up over their shoulder. In the winter, that thing does not flex at all. You have to force it to do whatever you want it to. They've got that up over their shoulder trying to line up the acmes to get them threaded on. It's a difficult thing. With this, we've got it at the right height, the right angle. You've got that hose right under your shoulder, right under your arm here. It lines right up. You don't have to struggle with it. The acmes spin right on. The right height, the right angle. It's designed for your drivers to make their life easier. Same thing with the deck. Let's move to the side of the truck and we'll take a look at a few more options. Again, we've got the lowered stainless steel deck in the back of the truck. Stainless fender spacer, stainless fenders, stainless fender brackets. This truck has the aluminum fuel tank. We've got the aluminum stairs over here with the stainless cover on the vertical exhaust. Got a stainless grab handle, stainless heated mirrors. Looking inside the chassis rails here, you can't see it from there. We've got an oversized PTO shaft, straight as an arrow. A lot of times we see them come in here that are just ungodly angles. The universals don't last, they're high maintenance. When you put it straight as an arrow, the universals last, it runs true, a lot less maintenance. Also inside, we've got color-coded pneumatic lines. All our wiring is color-coded. With every truck, you're going to get a binder with all the information on your truck in one place. But in that binder, we've got drawings, color-coded. So if you look on a pneumatic drawing, you see a red pneumatic line. You look in the frame rail, you see a red pneumatic line. You know what part number and location it goes to in the back of the truck, what part number and location it goes to in the front of the truck. So it makes diagnosing problems really easy. Also on the side here, you'll see the hole in the tank rail. You generally used to see those with the Flowmatics all the time. They'd have an indicator right on the side of the main valve so you could tell whether it was open or closed. Well, this is a manual main valve. It's not a Flowmatic, but we still have it. If you've got a problem pumping, you don't want your drivers climbing under the truck for any reason at all. So if the truck's not pumping, a lot of times one of the first things they want to check is the main valve open? They can just peek right through the rail here and tell. They don't have to climb under the truck. So it's nice and easy for them. One, you got moving parts under there. You don't want them under there. Two, they don't want to be under there in the winter. It's cold, wet, rainy, whatever it is. They don't want to be climbing under a truck either. So that's a nice little option to help them diagnose things. This truck's built. It's ready to deliver gas. If you have any questions on it, give us a call, 800-252-5467. We look to hear from you soon.